On this week's episode of Regular Guys Podcast, join us as we dive into all the injury news, as well as other things that teams are going through with this week. Also, too, fantasy football is here and it's ready to start. Dive in with us as we look to do our live mock draft and feel who we are going to take in the first couple rounds, as well as some late sleepers. As always, like, subscribe, tell a friend. Now on to the show.
You are now listening to
Regular Guys Podcast.
As promised, Regular Guys Podcast is back to you on this lovely Wednesday morning. We can't thank you guys enough. RGP is the place to be, and you guys are here in this place. As always, I am your host, Maddie, coming back to you. We want to start off the show by thanking you guys so much. You killed it last week. We can't thank you enough. 73 views on YouTube, over 13 plays on places like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Yes, the road to 50 subscribers is well on its way. And that begins with you, the regulars. And we can't thank you guys enough. But enough about me. Let's go on to the guys. Jake, tell the people what's good, man.
What's up, guys? We killed it last week. It was a great episode. We got a lot of feedback from everybody. Hope you guys like the intro, too. We tried to do something a little different. We got PJ over here editing. He wants to let you guys know he's going to come with some more fire intros. So that's going to be fun. And I can't wait to get into this episode.
Yeah, man, definitely. Sean, tell the people what's good, man.
What's going on, everybody? It's second week. It's going to get hotter and hotter. Like the other guy said, thanks for all the support and keep supporting. Tell your family and friends. I will kiss your babies if you do that. I promise.
And we will come to your house and record it. We promise. But hey, again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. You are now a regular. We thank you again for chiming in, listening to us. Just a little bit of a rundown of our show for this week. Same kind of as usual. We're going to look around the league of injuries and other news that is going on. Kind of some guys who we like that stood out in our final preseason week. And we're going to look into division winners because, yes, the season is finally here next week. We cannot wait. So it is only right that we choose who we feel is going to win each division. And then after that, we're going to look into, for you fantasy lovers, as most of us are, we're going to look into some fantasy football stuff. We're going to complete a live mock draft here on Regular Guys Podcast. Kind of walk you through who we like at certain spots, who we don't like. We got a little bit of help from our friends. They're going to help us out with the mock draft. And then after the mock draft, we're going to look at players on the rise, some sleepers, maybe some players that we're not high on, so to speak. That you may want to stay away from. But again, that's just our take on fantasy football. If you win your league because of us, hey, shout us out. If you lose your league because of us, just blame Jake. But at the end, as always, we're going to end it off with the hype section and then some closing words from yours truly. But to begin, in our news around the league, injury front, Pittsburgh Steelers star pass rusher TJ Watt exited the preseason game against the Lions with a knee injury. Looks to be okay. Obviously, they just want to, best defensive player on their team right now. Definitely want to keep him out. Don't want to make it any worse than it's possible. Deontay Johnson, their leading receiver for the Steelers, also left early with a shoulder injury. Tyrod Taylor, man, gents, I got to tell you, I felt bad for this guy. Suffered a back injury. If it's not the lungs, now it's the back. I don't know what to say there, man. I don't know what to say. Pat's rookie Tyquan Thornton will be out 6 to 8 weeks with a fractured clavicle. Sam Darnold out 4 to 6 weeks after suffering a high ankle sprain. Saints first-round rookie left tackle Trevor Penning will be out indefinitely. Bad case of turf toe. No updated timeline yet on him. Ravens fans, you'll love to hear this one. Ravens left tackle Ronnie Staley is coming off the PUP list after passing his physical. Some much-needed help returning for Lamar Jackson. Niners safety Jimmy Ward likely to go on IR. And if you haven't heard already, Tyrone Smith out indefinitely, torn hamstring that will cost him at least 3 to 4 months. And also, Ravens fans, your mascot got carted off. I don't know what y'all doing over there, but apparently it's serious when the mascot gets carted off. But gentlemen, any of these injuries has you somewhat worried, or do you kind of look at this as a what's the word I'm trying to look for? More of a just a precaution thing to kind of keep them out from the game?
For me, obviously as a Giants fan, I'm gonna go Tyrod Taylor, just because I was expecting Tyrod Taylor to be the starting quarterback by, let's say, week 4, week 5, the latest. I know they named Danny Dimes the starter, but not giving him that 5th-year extension, it tells me they don't have confidence in him. And me as a Giants fan, I don't have confidence in him either. I'd rather have Tyrod out there, get the development of all the young guys going. He knows an offense. He's a professional quarterback. We might not win games, but he's not going to stop the progression of these young guys. He'll keep them going. So for that aspect, I wanted Tyrod to start. But if he's going to keep getting hurt, I mean, you hope the back injury is nothing serious, that it's something that, maybe next week's bye week will help him get through it. But it kind of sucks.
For sure. What about you, Sean? Any of these injuries really stick out to you?
Yeah, the Tyrone Smith. I look at it as a blessing in disguise, though, because last couple of years, I think 4 or 5 years, Smith has been in and out of the lineup a lot. So hopefully he can heal up and be ready towards the end of the year. But yeah, that was a big injury, though. I mean, one of the best tackles in football. So yeah, he hopefully heals up, gets back in there in December, and fight for that division win.
Yeah, for sure. And they got so graphic with this, ladies and gentlemen. They said the muscle fell off the bone,
dude.
I'm like, what in the world? This is like I'm like, are you talking about like some chicken you about to eat type
Sounds
stuff?
like some smoked ribs or something. Goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
something just
man.
like off the bone. I'm like, I'm thinking he's only gonna be out 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
With
wow.
the injury. Y'all are describing it like that.
I know.
Goodness. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
But in all, we wish a lot of these guys a speedy recovery. Speaking of speedy recovery and other news, Commanders rookie running back Brian Robinson is in stable condition after being shot multiple times as a victim in an attempted robbery. The shot wounds are not life-threatening at all, and he's in a good, stable condition. So definitely wish a speedy recovery to him, and just recovering in general, not on some football stuff, but just in life in itself. So other news, this might shock you guys a little bit, not if you're anti-Aaron Rodgers or if you're pro Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers came out on the what was the name of the podcast again?
Joe Rogan
podcast, and said he played a game on Percocets. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Obviously, if you listen to the Joe Rogan show, you've already heard it. But yes, Aaron Rodgers played a game on Percocets. He didn't necessarily, I don't recall if you said what game, but he definitely played a game on Percocets. I mean, at this point,
is it just me or
really shocking.
Is it just me or Aaron Rodgers? The more he comes out, the weirder the guy is. He's just he's like a real life hippie. He is a real hippie-ish. He did the what was it, the Waska? I don't know much about it. The Waska this offseason, where you take this stuff and you tell all your feelings, and he's just and he got that crazy tattoo. He's just he's coming off really, really strange.
Hey, I don't whatever floats the guy boat, but I do agree there. The more he does open up about himself, you hit it right on the head. The more he opens up about himself, definitely seems to get a little bit more weird to the rest of us.
Yeah.
And other news, Bills release punter Matt Ariza following the civil lawsuits surrounding him. Geno Smith, Seahawks fans, will be your day one starter for the Seahawks. I find this kind of funny. After Geno was named starter, what does the guy do? Come out and throw his pick.
That's Geno.
It's preseason, man. What are you doing? Yeah, but it's Geno.
Hey,
I mean, I don't know. You guys let me know.
Lock came
Lock
out
didn't
through
look
3
any
of them,
better.
so
Yeah, Lock didn't look any better. I get
that's
it.
a coin flip.
I don't know. I guess if you're trying to secure that top pick in the draft, I don't know. I guess both of them are going to help you get it regardless. So
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's going to wrap up other news in our injury front, ladies and gentlemen. As our final preseason week has come to an end, we're going to kind of give you guys a look into who we each liked for our preseason standout for week 3. Sean, would you like to let us know who your preseason standout is for you this week?
Yeah, I'm picking Baker Mayfield this year. He came off of the offseason has been crazy for him with all the back and forth, but he came off with the shoulder surgery. He looked pretty good. First couple of drives, they scored both times. He looked accurate. That offense, the offensive coordinator likes to not force the ball down the field. So Baker was just picking them apart, and he looked really good, especially after the shoulder surgery. So Baker's my guy this week.
Yeah, I don't want this to come off as I hate Baker. I'm just not a fan of Baker the diva. Yeah. Now, the one he threw a complete dime. I don't know who it was against. I can't really tell you if the starters were, but it was a complete dime to the right corner. I don't know if it was for a touchdown or to put them into red zone range, but it was a complete dime.
He did.
We'll see if he's got some new life wearing that Carolina blue. He's definitely got some weapons, a nice young defensive core over there in Carolina.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think the pressure's on him a lot. I think it's more on Matt Rule.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a make or break year for him. A little bit of Baker, basically from Baker, just kind of showed that I'm good. Not maybe elite, although, again, Panthers will gladly take it because then they don't have to invest in another quarterback pick. But Jake, who is your preseason standout for this week?
So the game actually happened today. I'm going ahead and go with 2 of my Jet quarterbacks, Mike White and Chris Trevler. Neither of them are going to be relevant this season, most likely, but it was still nice to see that our depth quarterbacks played solid. Or nothing crazy. I'm not expecting Mike White to be the hero for the Jets. I'm not calling Super Bowl with either of these quarterbacks. It's just nice to see good quarterback play, even though it's a preseason game. Mike White, 13 for 17, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, 170 yards, QBR of 146. That's excellent. And then Chris Trevler, he's bounced around. It's probably a guy, if he makes a team, it'd be surprising. But he went 10 for 13, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. 136 quarterback rating. The 0 picks is really what you want to see, especially when they're playing against people at their level, because they're backup quarterbacks. So they're playing at people at their skill position too, their skill level. So to see them not turn the ball over to people that either are at the same level or maybe even a little bit better than them, fighting for spots too, that showed I was kind of happy to see them.
Yeah, I like that. Especially I think more so the Mike White one is a little bit better, especially because your boy Joe Flacco came out there and threw a pick 6. But also, too, because we don't know necessarily how long Zach will be out. If Joe's out there stinking it up, you do have to have another option. And we know Mike White came out last year, balled out, gave Cincy an L, then came back down to earth. But he's got shown little flashes. I think he could be a nice, stable little backup quarterback in the league, to be honest with you. My preseason standout coming out of the Windy City, Justin Fields have a day, 14 of 16, 156 yards, 3 tutties. Justin, I don't know that you guys are going to win more than 3 games, but I can kind of guarantee it will not come from you. I hope. He, in my opinion, he just looked better, kind of took what the defense gave him. And as a young quarterback coming into the league, year 2, you can probably say this is his first like real deal season. Only played in 8 games last year. So we'll see what happens. I'm rooting for you, Justin, over there in the Windy City. Anybody else? Honorable mentions, preseason standouts?
Yeah, I have also Jameis Winston. I thought was good from his ACL injury. I mean, he went in there. He only threw 4 passes, but he was 4 for 4, 60 yards. Just to see that he's healthy, I think that's big for the Saints, because that team they have a lot of pieces on that team. Yeah. So he's going to be the deciding factor for them, I feel, this year. You know, so yeah, Jameis Winston, he looked sharp, healthy, and that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Jake? Honorable mention?
Trubisky. He had a really solid game. Like, it's preseason. They're not playing against crazy starters. Most of the veterans that are superstars aren't playing. But to see a guy like Trubisky, who took the Bears to several playoff appearances, ended up not working out, but to see him on the Steelers, and he went 15 for 19, 160 yards. He had a touchdown, and he had a quarterback rating of 119.
Yeah.
So that's solid. Yeah, I mean,
he threw an absolute dime on the corner sideline there. I want to say it was to Deontay before he got hurt.
Yeah, and Pickett had a solid line too. He didn't throw any touchdowns, but he also didn't turn over the ball. Yeah, and that's what you're really looking for your rookies. Your rookies, your backups. Can you at least manage the game? Can you just not turn over the ball? That's kind of what you want. So to see that Kenny Pickett didn't do that, because in all honesty, Pickett's the future. Trubisky's here just to show, hey, I still belong in the league. I'm going to get my bag next year. That's kind of what Trubisky's doing. So it's good to see Pickett having a solid game.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, you guys let us know down in the comments who were your preseason standouts. I know all you Dolphins fans are ready to anoint Tua as the savior of Miami football. I'll save my takes on Mr. Tua for a later episode. Hopefully our boy Micah can come on and join us. But now we are going to look into division winners, ladies and gentlemen. As we mentioned, football is literally, as this podcast comes out, 8 days away. We get to open it up with an absolute banger in Buffalo and the Rams. It gets no better than that. I promise you right there. So we're going to go division by division, just kind of give our division winners as we speak as to who we feel is going to win that league or win that division. Sorry. And yeah, again, you'll get to hear how we feel. Obviously, we want to hear how you guys feel. If you agree with us, you disagree, please let us know. We're going to start off now in the AFC, and we're going to choose the AFC West. Sean, the Chiefs have taken that division the last couple years.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say there's a new sheriff in town, or do you feel that Patty Mahomes and crew have something to say about that?
We're starting off with probably, if not the hardest division to make the judgment on. I got the Chiefs still. I think they're going to be, that division is going to be rough. But I think Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid get it done. But I don't see their record. They might get 10 wins, maybe 11 to win that division. I feel like everybody's going to be 9, 10, 11 wins in that division. But I'm going to not confidently pick the Chiefs, but I'm going to say the Chiefs. They've been there. They've done it. The other guys haven't. Now, it's a stacked division, but yeah, I'm going to stick with them. But I won't be shocked if they don't win it. But that's my pick. That's definitely my pick. Yeah.
That's safe to say. Jake, before I let you go, I'm going to go with a new sheriff in town. I'm going to go with the Chargers. Jake came on last week, persuaded me as to why they're going to win it all. I drunk the Chargers juice. And here I am picking them to win their division. Yes, Jake, I am with you. I do think they finally get over this injury hump, this we can't finish hump. the pieces are there, although JC Jackson will not be playing the first couple games, but you still have a, star-studded, defense on hand already. If you want to go offense by offense, I will probably give the nod to the Chiefs as the better, just a hair, just literally a hair, only a hair. But the reason I feel the Chargers win it, the defense is way better. Might be light years better. I love Frank Clark, Jones in the middle, D tackle. But again, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I love Reed, but he's just not scaring me as much as the Honey Badger was. And if you're telling me I already had the game plan for Bosa, I now have the game plan for Khalil Mack. Derwin James is also coming back healthy. And when he does come back, J.C. Jackson is on one side. Asante Samuel Jr. is on the other side or playing nickel. This might potentially be a quarterback's worst nightmare when you play against this defense. So, but I am also there with you, Sean. It would not shock me though if the Chiefs won it, but I'm there with you. Whoever wins this division, you're going to get 10-11 max. There is no we're going to run away from this. It's arguably the best division in football, if not arguably the best division in football, maybe ever.
Up there.
It's got to be up there. Jake, who you feel is winning this division?
I'm gonna say Chargers. It's not for me. Like I said last week, it's the head coach. If Staley doesn't lose games, because that's really it. If Staley doesn't lose them the games with his coaching mistakes, they have the team. They have the defense. Any question marks they had, they filled those question marks either through the draft or through free agency. They drafted some O-line help. They got a solid running back. I know Spiller's hurt, but automatically right after training camp, OTAs, he was the number 2 guy. There was no, we might have to see who's going to be the backup running back for Eckler. No, it was Spiller. They drafted Zion for the line. So they filled the holes that they needed. Now the only question that we still need an answer to is the head coach. If Staley's the guy, then it's the Chargers. If not, I believe it'll be the Chiefs or the Broncos that would win. Just because you have 2 guys who've been there, done that. That's Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes. Russell Wilson isn't done. If anyone thinks Russell Wilson is done and is only going to have 3 or 4 more years in the league, you don't know football. He was hurt last year. Seahawks were bad. Yeah. Wilson's here to stay. So it's going to be a really fun division.
Agreed.
Yeah, I can't wait. I definitely can't wait. It's going to be a really good one. Our next division, we are going to the AFC North. Jake, we'll keep it there with you. Are Joe Cool and the boys repeating as the AFC North favorites?
Yeah. I don't see who else would win the division, to be honest. Like, I know people love Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, but we still have the same question marks. Besides Mark Andrews, who's your wide receiver? Who's your main guy to get the targets? I mean, you're hoping it's Boykin. You're hoping that it's Bateman. But do we know? We absolutely don't know. We don't have a for sure answer. And then Lamar Jackson, he's great, but we still have questions on how consistent is his arm. He has the arm talent. We just need to see the consistency every week. That's the question. But I think it's Joe Burrow, that wide receiver trio he has, and then healthy Joe Mixon with a better O-line. We saw Joe Mixon healthy last year. Look what he did. He ended up taking top running back, not the top running back, but he's in the conversation. Just, as a football player. And the defense continued to stay the same. The corners are a little spotty. Like we saw Eli Apple got toasted in the Super Bowl, but they managed to still play with the same secondary and they went to the Super Bowl. So I think it's the Bengals.
Yeah, I'll go next. I think it's the Bengals. I don't really see as to why maybe, the Ravens can challenge, but it's going to be some big ifs that need to stand up. And it's not the defensive side. You just need somebody not named Mark Andrews to step up and play that receiving role. I like Bateman. Had they been able to keep Hollywood Brown and Bateman, it would have been a nice, two couple guys. Or if they could have signed somebody else, shoot, maybe even a Julio. But obviously, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Yes, the Bengals have improved the offensive line because they know they were literally literally like a second from a Super Bowl win. That's literally all they needed, was just one more second of an offensive guard, a center, to just hold, Donald just for a second. And Jamar Chase toasted Jalen Ramsey again, and he was going to score, and it was game. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't really know how anybody else, the Browns or the Steelers, really challenge. I think they'll be tough because that division is pretty much tough regardless, even if the bad teams are bad. But yeah, this one's Bengals for me, and I don't really see anybody else challenging that. What about you, Sean?
It was a little tougher for me on this than you guys. You guys sound pretty confident in the Bengals. I'm not the biggest Lamar Jackson fan, but I know he's an incredible athlete. But yeah, losing Hollywood Brown, I feel it gives a little bit of an edge. And I feel the Bengals, they're not going to be slept on this year as well. So they're going to be a team to look at. So they're not going to, going into a week, you think you're going to get the W like they, teams did last year. But I think they will pull out the division. Too many weapons. Burrow's just going to get better. Chase is going to get better. Mixon's a beast. So I do think they pull it out, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. I said they get it, maybe win it by one game, but give or take.
Yeah, again, you guys let us know. I believe Joe Cool, Joe Burr is here to stay. But moving on to the AFC South. All right, look, guys, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. The guy right behind me, Shaq Leonard, obviously, feels and knows that we're gonna win the division.
AFC
the
South.
Titans are who we thought they were. What did I say? Did I say something else?
NFC South.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, AFC South. The Titans are who we thought they were. Trey Burks is looking like he's going to be a bust. Can't even stay healthy. Best receiver is Robert Woods. Although I love Robert Woods, you're coming off an injury. So we'll see for their standpoint of who gets second. But to me, it's a runaway for the Colts, and it's just because the Texans and the Jags, although are improving, are just not there yet. Sean, what do you think?
I'm going with the Jags. No, I'm just playing. I do like Trevor Lawrence a lot, but nah, this is going to be one of the easiest divisions of football for the Colts to win.
Yeah.
With Matt Ryan there. They got weapons, Pittman Jr. They got a strong team there, and I feel they're going to get 11 or 12 wins and win 3 or 4 more games than anybody else in that division. Pretty easy, cut and dry division right there.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Jake?
Yeah, I got the Colts, and I think Colts, when they play their own division, it's basically a bye week every week. I wouldn't be. I say this jokingly, but you can sit your starters when you play your division games. Essentially, how it's going to be. It's not going to be anything to worry about. I'm not worried about Tennessee. I always think every year Tennessee's overrated. But yeah, last year they still won the first seed. I get it. The defense was great, but Tannehill isn't. If you're going to keep Tannehill, he's not the guy to get you over that hump. He actually lost them the game. If they had a decent quarterback, they end up in the Super Bowl themselves. So since you have Tannehill still back there, and then we don't know what Malik Willis is, he looks like someone that can be good, but I don't know. It's definitely the Colts this year. We'll see what happens, but it's super easy to make that decision.
Yeah, for sure. Our last division in the AFC East. This one I feel is a runaway, and it's a runaway, but it's not necessarily a runaway. If you can kind of understand what I'm saying. Yes, the Bills are the much better team, so I do think they're going to win it. But I do like the Dolphins team. The only question is Tua, which we will see as the season unravels. But from a weapon standpoint, the defense was already good. Literally was already good. In our other news, I forgot to mention Trey Flowers just got added to that defense. I don't know what left he has in the tank, but he's still young, 29. I mean, to come in for Melvin Ingram or Jalen Phillips, who I actually really like, was hoping the Colts would take, honestly, that's still good. And, I can't tell you enough about the corners, Byron and X, but it is a quarterback-driven league. So unless Tua is going to take the highest of highest jumps and challenge the Bills, I will say the Bills until Tua says otherwise. What about you, Jake?
So yeah, I feel the same. Bills win and pretty easily. But it's not gonna be how New England ran the division for a good 20 years. It's nothing against Josh Allen because he's phenomenal. But I do think the Dolphins, and people are gonna laugh because you hear this name and you think they suck at football. They shouldn't even be a football team. But if everything goes right, the Jets should be competing for the second place also in that division. I say should be. I definitely don't think it'll happen, but if it does, it wouldn't surprise me. If Tua's the guy,
people want to know, Jake. Jake,
yeah.
hold on, Jake. The people want to know, Jake, you're biased. You're a Jets fan. What are we doing? Sean's already looking for Kutcher. He still thinks it's episode from last week. He's getting punked. I don't know, Jake. It's kind of a little bit bold take, man. We're not doing that till next week, man. I think you're a little early here, man.
Yeah, I'll keep it short just because we have a lot to get to today. So I'm going to say Bills, but when we get to Colts, hot takes and stuff, you hear what I have to say about the Jets. But yeah, it's definitely the Bills this year.
What about you?
I want to congratulate Jake and the Jets because they did get first place in their division in the preseason. So give them a round of applause. Man, watch out for the Jets, guys. Watch out. Bills, no brainer. Super Bowl winner. They don't have to worry about the Jets. Trust me. Please trust me. They don't have to worry about the Jets. I promise you that. Miami's got a good team, but yeah, Bills run away with this division. It's not rocket science. It's easy. They're going to get 12 wins. Yeah, it's an easy division.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Obviously, the Dolphins following that listen to the show may have something else to say. So you guys attack us down in the comments. Tell us why Tua and the gang are going to shock the world, so to speak. Moving on to the NFC, Sean. Now, we know you're a fan of Mr. Percocets and the Pack, but are the Packers going to repeat and win that division of the NFC North?
I am not a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I think he's a little bit cocky. He talks down to his players too much. But if anybody, I already know where you guys are going with this. I'm not going to say, but I already know where you guys are going with this. And please don't do it. Let's just keep this podcast, as real as possible.
Man.
The Packers will not get beat by the Vikings. I'm sorry. There's no way, no how. Aaron Rodgers, he's one of the greatest regular season quarterbacks. I know he doesn't have the weapons, Davante Adams, but have you guys seen his record without Davante Adams? Still amazing. Aaron Rodgers is amazing. I'm not saying in the playoffs. I'm saying in regular season, the Green Bay Packers win the division. Sorry, Vikings, you still got Kirk Cousins. Not going to cut it.
PJ, I know you're editing this, so if you want to edit Sean's take out, we definitely would not be mad at you.
Truth telling.
I am going to go with Minnesota, and it's just a new vibe there. For years, you've had a defensive head coach that has continued to, although play pretty good, stellar defense, but your offense, which is just oozing with talent, was put in the back burner. And I just have that feeling it is just ready to just be unleashed on the league. Yes, Kirk Cousins, I get it. Kirk is like another version of Dak or blah, blah. He's only top 15. He's not elite. You don't need to be elite. That's the truth of the matter. You don't need to be elite. I'm not going to keep rambling on about it. I just like Minnesota a lot this year. I like them a lot. It would not shock me if they have the number one offense this season. it just would not shock me at all. Jake, tell the people.
All right. So first thing, Kirk Cousins is not a bad quarterback. If anyone thinks that Kirk Cousins is a bad quarterback, then you can't say Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. Kirk Cousins.
Oh, Sean's looking for Ashton.
Kirk Cousins is Dak Prescott without a tan. That's literally what it is.
Oh.
Okay? Dak Prescott is completely overrated.
Oh, no.
And who does Aaron Rodgers have as his wide receiver one?
True.
Who is Kirk Cousins wide receiver one? Justin Jefferson. Who's the Vikings wide receiver number 2? Adam Thielen. You don't even know who the wide receiver 1 on the Packers is. And the Packers have the running game. The Packers have the running game with the two-headed monster. We know that. That running offense is going to be insane this year. But the Vikings got Dalvin Cook. He's not a slouch.
And Madison.
And Madison.
Madison does turn into another Dalvin Cook. I mean, there's a reason people draft that guy in mock drafts, as we will get to, for a reason.
Yes.
There's no drop off of production when Alexander Madison plugs in and plays for Mr. Dalvin Cook.
And last thing I'll say about the Vikings, their head coach was the offensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams. If you do not think that that's something that should be taken into consideration, then I don't know what else to tell you, because you had a defensive-minded coach for the Vikings, and you can tell in their play calling that the Vikings
very vanilla.
Yeah, the Vikings, you knew what they were going to do, and what they should have done, they weren't doing. So now having an offensive-minded coach with the weapons on that team, defensive players are coming back. Danielle Hunter's back. Vikings are a scary team. I'm just telling you, Kirk Cousins is a good enough quarterback to not only win them the division, but bring a ring to Minnesota.
Oh, you heard it here first. Jake's still getting spicy. Going on to the NFC South. I'm pretty sure this is an easy one here for all of us. Yes, I understand. I do like the Saints. Don't get me wrong. I like the Saints offense, defense. Love the defense. Absolutely love the defense. Their safety tandem of Marcus May and the Honey Badger is going to turn a lot of heads. Marcus May was, in my eyes, underrated in his time in New York. It just wasn't a lot of talent. So it may look, oh, man, are you talking about it's New York? Blah, blah, blah. He sucked. I get it. But to play with a guy like Marshawn Lattimore, the Honey Badger, come on. Defensive front still good. Cam Jordan is there. It's going to be some good. And I love Winston. It's the head coach. Now, this isn't Sean Payton. So we do need to see what he's working with.
Yep.
So for that fact, and I understand, Matt, what are you talking about? Bucks are going to be getting these offensive linemen from Dollar Tree. They can't keep anybody healthy. I understand it. It is still Tom Pretty Boy Brady we are talking about. Julio Jones looks like he was when he was on the Falcons, for crying out loud. And I don't understand why. It's like Brady's got that special Michael Jordan juice that he just gives to people who are claimed to be quote unquote washed up. I don't know. To me, this is a little bit of an easy one. It wouldn't shock me if the Bucks lose twice to the Saints. Saints still have their number. They still managed to win a division somehow. But I got to go with Tampa Tom and the boys. What about you, Sean?
I don't think it's going to be easy, but I do agree at the end of the day. I was flip-flopping on this actually yesterday, and then watched Tom Brady get in the game, and man, that spin on that ball, I was like, all right, never mind. I already changed my mind. I don't care if it's preseason. Tom Brady changed my mind. I feel it'll be a close division, but yeah, at the end of the day, Tom Brady, Winston, I know Saints got an awesome defense. They got their number. And like you said, I wouldn't be shocked if they win both games. But Winston, I mean, he was around in Tampa Bay. I'm sure a lot of people watched a lot of his games. His decision-making, his preparation is the most awkward thing I've ever seen in my life. But I feel like he'll give up a game or two to make the Bucks pull that division out. But I think it will be a tough division. Saints got all the good assets on offense and defense. They really do. But I think Winston's going to hold them back just a little bit. So Bucks.
Great. Jake, hit us with your division winner.
All right, so I want everybody to get close to the speaker real quick. All right,
God.
get close to the speaker.
This guy's Jake, bro. Jake,
Listen to
hold
one.
on, Jake. It's next week, bro. The hot takes, bro. You don't got to
This-
do them all, my guy.
I'm just saying. Just get a little close to the speaker. The New Orleans Saints will win this division. They won't run away with it. They will win this
Okay,
division.
see, I thought you were about to say something like the Atlanta Falcons were going to win because Mariota is going to play like he did on Oregon. That's not necessarily crazy.
It's not.
To be honest with you, it's very slim, but it would shock me. But it's not like, oh my God, the Saints.
The reason why Jameis Winston, before he got hurt last year, had 1,000 yards with 1,170 yards, 14 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. Who was his wide receiver that he was throwing to last year? It was Alvin Kamara or nothing.
Also, that's Sean Payton, but
yeah, it's true. That is the one thing.
Give or take. Yeah,
that's the one question mark that I can't argue with. I have nothing to say when it comes to the head coach. But all I know is that Jameis Winston not only got Michael Thomas back, but they drafted Chris Olave and Jarvis Landry, who until last year has never missed a game due to injury.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry is a guy, he's not going to beat you deep. He's not going to give you the high numbers, but he's not afraid to run through the middle, get hit, catch the ball. He's a great reception guy. And Chris Olave, I will not be shocked if he ends up competing for Rookie of the Year. He's that talented of a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So
I get you on that.
Yeah.
I get you on that.
He had no weapons, and now he has 3 plus Kamara. So that's something scary to look at.
Yeah, I do like the trio, just real quick. I do like the trio of Michael Thomas if he can return back to being can't guard Mike. Jarvis is a great number 2 and the over-the-top guy, deep threat of Chris Olave. So I see what you like there. It's just one of those things. Until proven otherwise, I got to go with Tampa Tom. That's all. But, yeah, I can kind of get down with what you're saying. Moving on to the NFC West, which were what we all thought last year was going to be the best division. Turned out that Seahawks didn't get that memo. This one I feel is also kind of an easy one, but I do think there's kind of a Jameis type take with the Niners. I do think the Rams win it, but it would not shock me. It just depends on what we get from Mr. Trey Lance. It's kind of been I'm going to say a little bit of a mixed emotions with him in training camp. He hasn't been like super bad, but he hasn't been like, oh my goodness, I see why they ditched him for, they ditched Jimmy G for him. So, but I will give it to him because the O-line is pretty good. Although they lost Tomlinson to the Jets, still pretty good. Running game, we'll see if anybody can finally stay healthy. Elijah Mitchell looks to take on that role. Trey Sermon will spell him. Kittle, can he stay healthy for a complete season? Obviously, we know what Debo would do. And Brandon Ayuk looks to really take the big boost from this. But if Trey Lance can, there's a reason I went top 5. They could potentially give them the Rams a run. And I only say that because Matt Stafford is coming off of surgery. We do not know what we're getting, how he's going to look, how long it's going to take him to get back into looking like Matt Stafford. He is a trooper. But yeah, that's what I feel who wins it. Jake, who you got?
I got the Rams, and I don't think Trey Lance actually starts figuring it out till probably halfway through the season. So by the time he actually ends up figuring it out, it's going to be probably a little too late to really compete for the division. But I don't think it's going to be a growing year, but he is going to figure it out quicker than most quarterbacks. He's a rookie, but he's not a rookie. He's already been in the system. Sure. He knows what's going on. I do like Trey Lance. I like the move to just do it now. Why wait? But yeah, it's the Rams. And I know Stafford's coming off the surgery, but you have your 2-headed monsters in the backfield, Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers. So you can rely on the running game a little bit more than what you had last year when both those guys were out. So Stafford's going to have that. He's going to have Allen Robinson next to Cooper Kupp, which Allen Robinson's going to have a revival season. So, but I say Rams. It's kind of easy. So we'll see what
I
happens
agree
with the
there.
49ers. Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
Well, I wish Akers helped me on Madden last year. First of all, I was awful with them. But yeah, I'm in agreement with you guys. I think the Rams going to win that division, but I do think that division going to have 3 teams that win 10 plus games. I think Arizona. I think Kyler Murray is actually going to study film, guys. Shh, don't tell nobody. I think he's going to study some film. I think they'll get about 10 wins. But yeah, at the end of the day, the Rams got the strongest team offensive and defensively. So, I think that's a pretty safe pick. But I do think San Francisco and Arizona do get 10 wins.
Yeah, I can see that. Now, people, we save this division because our dear friend Sean is going through something with Mr. Tyrone, can't keep a muscle on his bone, Smith. Now, me and Jake will both go. I'll go first, and then I'll let these two kind of, go back and forth a little bit. To me, before the injury, I was going Eagles. To me, them trading for A.J. Brown was we think we're legit right now type of trade. Devontae Smith is going to be a great number 2. Dallas Goddard, underrated tight end. Offensive line is pretty solid to good. We'll see what you get out of Miles Sanders and the running backs. But I like this team a lot on offense. Defense, it got better. You had James Bradbury on the opposite side of Darius Slay. You go and get the big boy out of Georgia, who is demolishing his own teammates. My guy, his own teammates next to Fletcher Cox. I like them. I like them a lot. Another year under that system there in Philly. I like it a lot. I do think that Hurts will come out and have something to prove, especially after getting, I want to say he got a new contract, or they're looking to give him a new one. I know they're looking to give him a new one.
Yeah.
And this is basically his, hey, we need to see that. Give us the reason as to why you are our franchise guy. So we'll see. Again, before the injury, I like the Eagles to win it by a game or two. Not something like, oh, the Eagles are going to win it. It's not even close. By a game or two. Jake, we'll let you go. You're over here smiling, you're grinning. You got something spicy to say as you've had all show. Let the people know.
So during the offseason, when the Dallas Cowboys decided to dismantle their team, that's when I knew, okay, it's up for grabs. And then the Eagles on draft night trade for AJ Green. And I was like, well, that, like you said, that's who's taking the division. And you see the injuries that are happening to the Dallas Cowboys. So I think this is kind of like AFC East take, NFC West take, or AFC North take, where you have a clear winner. I'm gonna go the Eagles, and I don't think it's difficult. Reason is Dak Prescott has 1 to 2 weapons, maybe, that are, even if you want to throw 3, but what's this guy's name? Lamb.
Gallup and Lamb, dude. They're
Gallup,
not bad.
Well, let's see when Gallup comes back. It might be week 6, week 7 when he comes back. We don't know how that's working out for him. And then Lamb, he loves Butterfingers. So let's see what happens with that. I had Lamb. I watched Lamb, and I had him in fantasy football. You don't know how many times I was upset because there was a drop pass. And then you have Dak Prescott, who apparently is an elite quarterback, but has the IQ of a 5-year-old who decides to run on the last play in the playoff game. And you have Mike McCarthy, which is probably the worst head coach in NFL history.
Oh, no.
So,
pretty bad. I can't even argue that. He's pretty bad.
Your highlight on defense is Micah Parsons. He's amazing. He's great. He's already has a Hall of Fame career, I think. I think he's going to make it. Trayvon Diggs, he's a great corner, but he'll let your receiver get 150 yards.
Yeah.
He's getting toasted.
By his own teammates. He's getting toasted. Matt's cousin is toasting him in training camp. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe Dallas, if they figure something out, but they have so many injuries, man. And then Zeke's out here carrying towels from
Motel 6.
Yeah, from Motel
Dang,
6
bro.
in his pants today. Dude had a full-on bath towel. So we'll see what's going on. Dallas is just a lot of question marks. That's the issue. They're always there, but they've had a lot more questions this year and they didn't have a lot of answers to them. So we'll see what happens. But I go Eagles.
All right, Sean. Let the people try to mourn with you for a split second.
Yeah.
Take it away.
You guys both, I mean, you took the words out of my mouth, honestly. You know, Tyrone Smith out. We lost Amari Cooper. You know, Dak, you know, he is an overrated quarterback. I actually agree with that. I mean, I feel like Kirk Cousins is nowhere close, but I do feel like Dak is overrated. So this is going to be hard for me to say, but the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the division. Zeke and Pollard are going to run all over the league. You hear
Oh, my God.
CeeDee Lamb, 1,500 yards, baby.
What
I'm telling you right now, Micah Parsons going to be the face of the NFL in another year or two. There's no way Jalen Hurts, the clipboard holder, is going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys will win this division. I'm sorry for my brother-in-law because he's a Philly boy, but the Philadelphia Eagles have no shot. They got Jalen Hurts, and he's trash. Dak, Jalen, not a competition. CeeDee blows up this year, and the running backs, Pollard is such a threat, and Zeke is he's the best I've seen him in a long time. So I'm excited, baby. We're gonna get this division, and I love the doubt. Please doubt us. That's when we play best. Keep doubting us. Cowboys, baby. Woo!
Goodness gracious.
That's when they play best, but they haven't done any. They won like what, 2 playoff games in the last 20 years.
When they're favored, they're not a good team. But when the other teams are favored over them, they play a little bit better. I'm not saying they're winning the Super Bowl now. Let's not go that far.
They're America's team, but they're never favored.
We got $8 billion, and maybe you could put the Jets and the Giants together, and they can equal up.
I mean, the Giants,
gentlemen.
The Giants have more. I've seen the Giants have more Super Bowls than probably most Cowboy fans.
Not more than so that's no worries. I've seen 3 of them. So you catch up one more, and then we can talk.
Okay. All right,
guys.
I'm old. I saw the old teams.
Let's save the spicy talk. I'm not gonna lie, Sean. You caught me for a bit of a whirlwind right there, man. You had me.
That was a roller coaster of emotions.
I was like, yeah, man, I feel for you, And then my guy busted out the jersey, said, "Psych, I'm Ashton Kutcher today. We're going to win it." Hey, that's why you guys listen to Regular Guys podcast, though. Man.
Yes.
Who's going to keep you on your toes like we do? So we appreciate it, Sean. We do. We definitely appreciate it. You guys, again, let us know. We went down division by division to give you our takes. Let us know if you agree. If you're an Eagles fan, talk your smack to Sean. If you're a Cowboys fan, hey, talk your smack to us too. And we'll go from there. But now at this point, we are going to get into our main topic of discussion just a little bit. Fantasy football. Now, again, for you guys that are watching, listening, and girls too, that play fantasy football, what we are going to do is complete a live mock draft here for you guys. Shouldn't honestly take that long. We got a couple friends help, and we're going to start a mock draft here. So what we're going to do for you guys that are listening, watching, we're going to get a regular guys mock draft here going on, and just kind of try to get you guys a little bit of a input as to who you should be selecting, kind of get our takes as to as the computer makes picks, and we'll go from there. So we're going to go ahead and start this up. Yes, we are sure. So as we start off here, obviously, I feel like the first 2 picks are pretty easy. It could honestly be swapped, to be real with you. You could go CMC first. You could go Jonathan Taylor first. Doesn't necessarily matter there. You can't go wrong. Our good friend Axel then went to go on with Austin Eckler. Also not a bad pick, to be real with you, at number 3. And now we got Sean.
Yeah. You
Right.
guys are the you guys are the fantasy football experts. I do it to have fun, but I'm not real big into it, but I do it each year, the last couple of years. But I would go Derrick Henry right here. I think he gets healthy this year, and you can't go wrong with the healthy Derrick Henry.
Let's see. And I'm up next. Me personally, I'm going running backs. So I'm going to take best available. I'm going to take Dalvin. Yes, you see 2 receivers taken in the first round. It's not necessarily that bad. Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I don't know if I go that in the first round, especially with the running backs still kind of being there.
We got some good running backs.
I kind of understand it.
Yeah, so I picked 10 just because I kind of like that turn at 10. You get 2 really good players when you do that. So I'm going to go Joe Mixon for this first pick. And then usually I would go running back heavy and get 2 running backs. But knowing that a lot of the top tier receivers are going to go before I even get my pick in, I'm going to go ahead and pick Devontae Adams here in the back. Just so I know I get a solid wide receiver for that.
And here we are back again for myself. I'm going to stay with the running back train, but I'm going to go with Mr. Aaron Jones.
I like that pick, actually. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I think I'm going to go with Chubbs. He's going to be beast this year. So, yeah, 2 awesome running backs, Henry and Chubbs, if they can stay healthy. That'd be a good duo right there.
Let's see. I don't know if I like Josh Allen necessarily in the top of the 3rd, but I get it, kind of. It looks like team 2 is kind of going for let me get a good guy at each level, running back, CMC, Samuel, Josh Allen. I get it.
I'm going to go Mike Evans here, actually. Solid wide receiver, another year with Brady. I feel like he's going to get a lot of looks.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to wow, he's still here. I'm going to take Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I like that pick. I was looking at that as well.
Yeah, as we mentioned, I was actually shocked. I didn't think Pitts would be taken over him. But the fact that he's still there, I got to go with him only because he's the best, reliable option they got.
So for this pick, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick T. Higgins.
Yeah.
So reason I picked T. Higgins is last year he had 145 points to Jamar Chase's 223. And Higgins didn't play 3 games. So the point differential is not that far from Chase and Higgins. So it's nice to know that Higgins is going to fall back into probably the 3rd, 4th round. And so you can get that top tier level receiver kind of later than Chase, and it's a bit cheaper, so you can add depth around. And then I'm going to go for running back. I know Leonard Fournette's there, and he had a great season last year, and everyone's expecting great things. I am too, but you also have James Conner. James Conner is the only running back in Arizona. So I'm going to go ahead and pick him up. He's going to be the main workhorse back there, and he's going to get a lot of work.
Let's see. It's back here at me.
Yeah, where are you looking at, Maddie? What are you looking at?
Oh.
You already got Dalvin, Aaron Jones, and Andrew, so you got to
I'm going to go receiver. I'm going to go Michael Pittman.
Julio Jones.
Somebody picked Julio Jones?
Yeah, Michael Pittman. You didn't see that?
I'm going to go Brady.
What?
Yeah, I'm going Brady.
My guy went Brady.
Yeah, if I got Mike Evans, I might as well go for his quarterback.
Oh my good. Hey, you know what?
I mean, he did lead the NFL in touchdowns and all that, but I mean, who's counting? Touchdowns don't matter in fantasy, right?
My guy went Tom Brady. Man, I don't know if I could justify it. But hey, it's not bad, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a big, I pick guys I like. It's hard for me to cheer for guys that I don't like. Right here, I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go with Johnson out of Pittsburgh. Get a receiver.
There's Lamar. Okay, and it's back to me. All right, so now in this scenario, I look at my team. I got 2 good running backs for PPR league, Mark Andrews, Pittman. Now, I could easily say Joe Burrow's there, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, even Russ. But I want to continue to add to my receivers. I am expecting nothing but big things from this guy. I'm going to go with Courtland Sutton.
Wow, Courtland Sutton.
And bashed on my Brady pick, but did pick Sutton. Come on now.
No, I love the Sutton pick, but
Sutton's going to be huge.
When you had Waddle still there, I think I would have went Waddle over Sutton, just because last year Waddle still had over 100 receptions, and I think
the only reason I didn't is because Tyreek's there.
I mean, Tyreek's still going to get more of the attention, so I feel like Waddle's numbers will either stay consistent, at least.
See, that I'm not necessarily sure, and that's why I give pushback on Waddle. If Sutton wasn't there, I'd give the nod to Waddle, but I feel like this is one of those offenses where it's going to be force-fed to Tyreek, like at all times. And I feel like Courtland Sutton is literally about to put the league back on notice that I finally got a good quarterback. Yes, I understand, Jerry Jeudy's there, but I feel like Sutton's the number one guy there for me, at least.
So with this pick, I'm going to go with probably one of the most underrated guys in fantasy football, Brandon Cooks, with that pick. He's a really good receiver, and he's the main guy out there in Houston. He still put over 1,000 yards receptions last year. And then a reason why you try to go running back early. If you look at the running backs left now, this is the tier where it's kind of, if you don't pick a guy now, it's gonna be slim pickings moving forward.
Yeah.
So I think for this one, I'm gonna pick a guy that we talked about a little bit earlier, very briefly, but I'm gonna pick AJ Dillon.
Yeah,
coming back around here.
It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, so now we're in the good range where, again, if there's a quarterback here that I like, and there is, I'm gonna go ahead and grab Kyler. Kyler in the 6th. Him or Jalen honestly wouldn't have been bad. Again, for PPR, mobile quarterbacks are your friends, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely, unless it's a Josh Allen or a Patrick, I don't know if I still would have went with either one of those in the 3rd or 4th. But I get it. I'm more of a opponent of, I want to build my team with great talent.
Gotcha.
If I can get 25 points from a quarterback, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Like if Kyler wasn't there, Jalen wasn't there, honestly, I would have just kept adding to my team and just, hey, whenever I get a quarterback, I'll get a quarterback.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to pick up a tight end here. And I think and it is showing a little favoritism, but I think Schultz is actually going to be pretty good this year. I think he's going to get a lot more targets with Amari Cooper gone. So yeah, I'm gonna do Schultz, man. He's been pretty reliable for us.
I agree. I actually, especially with the departure of Amari, and we don't know how good Gallup will be to start off. So I agree.
He'll be a little banged up, yeah.
So far, Axel, our friend's draft is actually really good. Austin Eckler, Alvin Kamara. Obviously, we'll wait to see what happens on his, if he gets suspended, if he doesn't, and to get Barkley. DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy also. Now, for you guys that are saying, the Giants suck.
Let me speak on Barkley. Barkley.
Oh my God, dude! I've seen too much of him already.
As the resident Giants fan, let me speak on Barkley.
Tell me how great he is.
Saquon Barkley had a freak accident last year. Had nothing to do with his body breaking down. Someone stepped on his foot against the Dallas game and just messed up that whole foot to ankle connection. So that was kind of his freak accident. It had nothing to do with being injury prone, and it just kind of set him back last year.
What about the year before that? The year before that,
there were knee issues, but last year had nothing to do with anything with his knee. He just got stepped on. We just seen that with the Carolina quarterback. He got stepped on and he's out for the year. So it happens a lot, especially in football. So Saquon was on the verge of, and he didn't have a full training camp last year. Yeah. This year he's had a full training camp, had full OTAs. He has that explosion. I'm not saying he's going to be like his rookie year, but he's going to be, to get him in the third round, I think that's solid.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just giving you a hard time. But I agree. I'm a little nervous for him because just so many injuries. And, running backs, they don't last too long in the league anymore. So, I mean, he's one of those running backs that first came out and everybody was like, oh, he's going to take over the league, and just injury after injury after injury. But, yeah, hopefully he bounces back, just not against the Cowboys. I'm going to go Amari Cooper here. I'm going to go Amari for a flex. He's going to be the number one receiver in Cleveland. He'll get a lot of looks, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm looking at my team here. Yeah,
I'm happy with that pick.
All right, so for my team, I'm going to go who I feel best running back available. And I don't think, as they have it, as Damian Harris. I'm going to go Tony Pollard, actually. Okay. Yes, Zeke is there. I get it. But again,
Zeke gets a touchdowns, though.
Yeah, who is their second receiving option? I'm not quite sure. And Tony Pollard got spoken heavily of by Dak not that long ago. So
let me ask you guys a question. You guys are big fantasy guys. When would you start looking at kickers and defense? What roundabout would you guys start looking into that? Would you wait until you get more backup players, or would you, after you get your set lineup, would you go that route? Like,
to me, it depends. It would be like depends on how your team falls, honestly.
Yeah.
If by like round 10, you have everything you feel and you're like, hey, Justin Tucker, Evan McPherson, Bill's defense is sitting there, let me grab one, then hey, do so. But if you're like, I just want to keep taking the best talent, a lot of times defense court and kickers get taken the last 2 rounds. It just honestly depends on how you fill out the rest of your roster.
I like that pickup, Jacob Hawkinson, man. That's a good pickup.
Yeah, after TJ, there's a pretty big drop off with tight ends.
Yeah,
so if he's
great pickup.
You can see, I was still able to get TJ like the last pick in the 7th round. So it just tells you can wait on tight end a little bit if you don't get like any of the big hitters. Like in Matt's case, I definitely go Mark Andrews over any of the other guys, to be honest. I think Mark Andrews is the better tight end over Pitts and Kelsey. So if you get into like round 3, maybe round 4, and Andrews is there, go early on the tight end.
Yeah.
But if not, I'd definitely sit back. And then to answer about the kicker, to be honest, I'd probably reach in like 11, 12 for a Justin Tucker. That's the only kicker I'm reaching for.
Yeah.
For some reason, Tucker gets picked before, the kicker would be one of my last picks.
I just picked up a wild card. I know you kind of mentioned it last week, Jacob, about Hopkins, how, he looked old last year, and I tend to agree with that.
Not bad.
It could be a great pick, or just somebody that's gonna be riding the bitch the whole year. But I like that. I like that, picking up him there. Safe choice.
Yeah, at this point in the draft, I don't think it's a bad pick because he's gonna be out the first 6 games, and you're pretty much set. He's already on your bench. Yeah. Whether or not he was suspended or not, you have guys that are better than him already on your team.
Yeah, so
it's
but I mean, he could break out,
and then you have a guy that was sitting on your bench, and then boom, you have a good at least maybe 18, 25.
Then that could be a problem too, though. You don't know to put in.
For sure. Or you can use it as trade bait.
Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, I'm picking. I might be going early here, but like Jake said, I'm going Tucker, man. Give me a kicker. Yeah, give me a kicker, man. He's gonna get me points every week. He doesn't miss anything. Kick 65-yard field goals. Give it to me.
And honestly, it's not bad. Our great good friend Ben in our league that we draft every year is a Ravens fan, And we basically play a game. Let's keep Tucker away from Ben. So to draft him in the 9th round, honestly, is not depending on who you're playing with. If you're playing with the group that we play with, then it's fine. If you're playing with the group that's like, what the heck, then yeah, I could get it. Here at my pick, so last 2 picks I went Cordell Patterson, I got Tony Pollard, so I got my running backs pretty much squared away.
Yeah, Patterson's gonna get some looks, so that's a good one.
I do need some help in the receiver area outside of Pittman and Sutton. So I'm going to go, I could easily go Drake London. I'm just not super sure on the connection with him and Mariota or Ritter. I guess we'll have to see. I think it's going to be Mariota. So I'm going to go with a guy that I actually really like, and it's because of Trey Lance. I'm going to go with Mr. Brandon Ayuk.
Good one. Yeah, you can kind of see like where the trend's going for like Matt went early on quarterback. I feel he went a little early. And you guys, I probably won't draft a quarterback for a while. And then like I'll explain my reasoning.
Yeah, what's your thought process on that?
Yeah. So right now I'll probably look to get another running back just because I have 3. Kind of want that other running back. So what I do is I'm looking at my 2 main guys, Mixon and Connor. One's a bye week 10, the other one's a bye week 13. And then I have Dylan that can definitely fill into either one of their bye weeks. So this is more of a depth piece guy. So I'm looking at Damian Pierce from Houston.
Gotcha. Good pickup.
I'm going to go ahead and pick that. That's going to be my 4th running back. And if he breaks out, he could easily be an RB1.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little thing that I reached out for. And you probably think, hey, you still don't have a quarterback. Go get one.
You still got the great Dak Prescott on there, I think. So, yeah, there you go. Right there.
There's still about
Jalen Hurts is still there.
Yeah, there's still a lot of quarterbacks left.
I've been trying to tell you guys.
So I'm actually going to pick this next pick is going to be – it's something that a lot of the analysts that we watch, they say follow the money. It's something you guys want to pay attention to.
Where's the money at? Tell us where the money's at.
The money is at Christian Kirk in Jacksonville. This guy got paid to be the main guy. He's having a really good connection with Trevor Lawrence. So in the 10th round, I don't think that's a bad pick to use it on Christian Kirk. He has a great season. If he doesn't, he's a nice flex play. So it doesn't hurt when it's this late in the draft.
Yeah, now here at my pick, you could easily go James Cook. I kind of want to go back to the running back well. You could easily go James Cook, but it's turning into a bit of a 3-headed monster there in Buffalo. Yes, he's got the upside, but because Zach Moss has turned heads, that's not something you want to hear if you drafted James Cook already. You could easily say, okay, let me take the best next handcuff. Melvin Gordon, outside of Javonte Williams, we'll see a workload. Ramondre Stevens. I'm going to go Michael Carter because he is the guy still. Again, everyone loves Breece Hall. If you look here at this draft,
5th round, sheesh.
He went into 5th.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who's not going to be a starter. Now, again, I get it, but it's just a little bit of a pump your roll a little bit. Michael Carter has not done anything to show you he doesn't deserve to start yet. So,
yeah. Is Stevenson starting for the Patriots this year?
So it's going to be a little bit of he's taking on the James White role since James White retired.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to go with just to get another running back in there. I'm going to probably go with Gordon.
And that's not bad. Again, those high handcuffs, Alexander Madison, you'll see will probably go off here the next couple picks, next round or so. Because again, Dalvin Cook gets hurt. You need his handcuff because the work is still going to be there. Javonte Williams gets hurt. Melvin Gordon is going to get all the work. So it's really not a bad pick at all.
Gotcha. Thank you. Let me bow.
Yeah. And as far as the Ramondre Stevenson role, Damian Harris is on an expiring contract. So I wouldn't be shocked if Harris maybe only gets the goal line work just because he's probably a bigger running back. Yeah. But don't be shocked if Stevenson ends up taking more of the workload as the season goes on just because you want him to get familiar with the offense, especially going into next year. So we'll see.
I'm going to pick up here. I'm going to go actually tight end again, and I'm going to go to Knox. I like Knox out of Buffalo. I had him, I think, last year, and he was pretty decent tight end to have. So a little ups and downs, but I mean, not bad for a backup tight end.
That's not bad. So here at my pick again, I mentioned if you got a high end guy. So I got Dalvin Cook. Obviously, I want to. Now, if this is the group that I'm drafting with next Sunday, Jake will know Alexander Madison. There's no way he's making it this far because everybody just knows the workload is there. If Dalvin as to hurt his toe tomorrow. So, but because he's there, I have to pick up Alexander Madison because if something happens to Dalvin, I have, insert Alexander Madison. And although you'll lose a little bit of production, Alexander Madison will still get you about 15 to 18 points, although where Dalvin will get you over 20, but that's just because Dalvin's Dalvin. But that's how good of a handcuff he is to have.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Again, if I was like Sean, I would have doubled down. I know you're going to need Alexander Madison. And if something happens, I have your, handcuff on my team, for future. But I get why he didn't, maybe because of the simple fact he already won another handcuff with Gordon. So to waste another, roster spot on another handcuff, yeah, I can get why you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, and this late in the draft, you're also trying to draft for upside. Like right now, you're looking what player can explode. And so for that reason,
trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, so for that reason, with this pick, I'm going to go Garrett Wilson. The reason is a lot of within the last, I want to say 3 to 4 seasons, any wide receiver picked within the top 10, if they've played the full season, has exploded on the scene. The only ones that haven't have been hurt, or you are that wide receiver Kevin White that was drafted.
Gotcha.
He's the only one that hasn't been successful. But besides that, every receiver taken in the top 10 comes onto their team and performs lights out. So I'm taking that upside. It's not a position that I need him to start on my team. This is mainly just hopefully he breaks out. If he does, great. I got him with a great value. And if not, oh well, I got him late in the draft. So that's kind of what you're looking for. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and reach for, maybe not necessarily reach, but I just talked about picking up that position in New England. I'm going to go Stevenson here in the 12. Pretty good upside.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So again, for you guys that are watching and listening, so as Jake was mentioning, and as he still doesn't have a quarterback, hey, it's perfectly okay. The only reason I went Murray is because of the upside of his rushing ability.
Yeah,
and I had Murray last year, and he can literally at any given point give you 30.
Yeah.
It's the same with Jalen Hurts. I get it. You guys may think, well, Jalen Hurts
you just can't throw it.
There's a difference between actual what's going on the field and their stats, which is what fantasy football is. Jalen Hurts is going to be a great fantasy football quarterback because of the simple fact he's going to take rushing ability away from his running backs. But as you see here, team 2, I mean, Dak went 11th round. So if you want to build the roster up, you look here, they got Allen Lazard. How much time? I got 54 seconds. Okay. Allen Lazard, Moore, Mooney, Mitchell, Dobbins, Kittle. Although they took Allen, so they double dipped. I don't know if I would have did that. But still, you can, let me wait. Let me hold off because a guy like Dak, a guy like Russ, Rodgers, Trey Lance, Stafford, Carr is going to be sitting there. But for my pick, I am going to, again, go to the who can I get to strike? Mr. NFL young boy, George Pickens.
Young boy. That's not a good nickname to have. I see a lot of trouble in his future.
Yeah, you've been getting a nice, good, report with quarterbacks, getting some good work. So, again, you never know. And, again, I got Ayuk, Sutton, and Pittman already. I don't necessarily need him to be great. It'd be great if he was great off the rip. But this is where you want to reach for those guys that you feel have good upside.
See, this is where you guys get me because y'all are a little deeper into the fantasy football than I am. But I'm going defense right now. There's
nothing wrong with that.
I just feel like one of the better defenses. I feel like I'm pretty stacked at receiver. You guys, like I said, y'all dig more into the fantasy football than I do, but this is kind of how I do my thing. So I'm telling the people at home, probably don't copy what I do. Be a bad look, but that's just how I do it.
Axel just had a pick with James Robinson.
It's not bad at all.
That is a really solid pick this late in the draft. Is James Robinson that backfield is probably going to be a Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt type backfield.
Yeah.
I'm picking another guy here that he's not going to play the first couple weeks, but I think he's going to be big for us. So Gallup.
That is an excellent pick.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a lot of targets once he gets back healthy.
Yeah. Because like I said, if you follow the money, Gallup got paid.
He did get paid.
They believe in Gallup, so that's a solid pick.
I don't know if a lot of people watch Gallup, but he's got a lot of talent, man. He really
heck
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast.
It shows you they were willing to let Cooper go, and because they knew they had Gallup. So
I liked Amari, but that was a tough one. That was a tough pill to swallow for us.
I get it though. He's older. He had a lot of injuries, so get away from it now. And then it's time to. If you're the young receivers, it's time to step up. Lamb needs to stop, like you called him, Butterfingers. He needs to start catching that.
So I went
Julio
here. Okay. And I went Julio because of the simple fact, yes, Godwin's coming back, but we don't know how good he's going to be, when he's going to even come back. And again, they're building great chemistry together. I don't necessarily need Julio to be great. It's just kind of a depth guy to have. So we'll see what happens there with Julio Jones. I was in a little bit of a mix of, do I want to reach for somebody at rookie running back to kind of see what happens? But at this point, I got enough running backs. I'm going to go with Julio.
Gotcha.
So I'm just rounding out my team. I'm pretty happy with everything that I picked. So now I'm just picking the spots that I need somebody. So I went Matt Prater, took him as my kicker. And then I'm drafting Kirk Cousins as my quarterback. Quarterback play, he's going to give me a solid 20, and on a good day, maybe 25. And that's kind of what you're expecting out of it depends on how your scoring is in your league. I'm speaking on our scoring, where we actually give points for completion. We also get points for the yardage. So if you incorporate all that, just look at your scoring in your league. If your scoring does points, per completion and stuff like that, look at quarterbacks that also have a good short game, because that's going to help.
When Aaron Rodgers is up by 28 on him and then he starts throwing some yards, that's great pickup. Great pickup.
Also, if you're in
just joking, JK.
If you're in a 2 quarterback league, that's the only time that I go quarterback in like the first round, first 2 rounds, just because. Or if you have super flex where you can play quarterback in your flex. Those kind of leagues, those are the only time where I'm going quarterback super, super early. And that's just because they give you more points.
Matt finally got his defense there. The Niners, they're going to be good defense, man. They're awesome defense.
No, I actually went Indy. I went Indy. Yeah, I went Indy, and I'll tell you why I went Indy. It's not – there is no bias here. The Colts' first 2 games are the Texans and the Jags.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that's a good pick too. That's actually a good pick too. I do like San Francisco's defense, so they got a good defense.
Yeah, no, for sure. They play the Bears to open up. And here, just kind of closing off, as you see, Axel went DJ Chark. That's not a bad pick here this late either, especially for that offense. They want to throw the ball deep. DJ Chark is on the mission to show the league that he's back and that he can, play at a good high level.
Tell me why I should get Hines from your Colts. Should I get Hines?
Because Matt Ryan loves throwing to running backs. Insert Cordell Patterson.
You sold me. I picked him. Thank you. That's how I do fantasy football, guys. I ask the people that like the teams, and I ask them why I should do it. And he already sold me. That easy.
Here, I need a kicker. Here, when you're looking for a kicker, I kind of like to look at, okay, what team is maybe going to stall out from getting into the red zone, but will be well in place to score points. Me personally, it looks like it's either Robbie Gould or Will Lutz, just based off of, I don't know necessarily how good the offense for the Saints is going to be. Maybe they'll be put in position for him to kind of boom it in there. And maybe he can get you on his best day 12, 13 points. But maybe on his worst day, it's like 6, 6, 8, 6, 7 points. So I'm going to go with Mr. Will Lutz here. And that will close out my draft. And we'll see who Jake picks.
Me personally, Matt, at your pick with your logic, I would have went Nick Folk from New England. Because Mac Jones in that offense, they'll get the short yardage. They'll probably get close to the red zone. I don't really believe in Mac Jones still yet. I think he's really overrated. But you're talking about that team that's probably going to be in that red zone area a lot, especially with their running game. So at your spot, that's probably who I would have picked. You didn't pick bad. It's also a kicker.
Yeah, I just don't know if they're going to make it there. That's why I didn't.
Just to let y'all know, these two guys are going to go at it at a real fantasy football league. So I like when Jacob's trying to tell Matt what he should do. I already feel the rivalry coming, so this could be exciting. I'm excited to hear about their league this year.
And then I just went Packers just to close out my defense. That's one thing. Packers have a great defense.
They do have. You forgot to mention that, man. I did.
I don't want to give them too much props. But when you for
they got a good defense.
Yeah, when it comes to the Packers, my only question mark is the weapons that Rodgers has.
Yeah.
It's not. I joke around, but Rodgers is a top 5 quarterback. He's probably one of the best quarterbacks ever played the game. I know that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to his team around him, that's where it's a struggle. That's where there's question marks.
Yeah.
That defense is phenomenal. It is so good.
One of his best defensive teams he's ever had, honestly.
So it's really good defense. So that's what I picked for that, just to close out my team. I'm pretty happy with it. It's probably one of my better my mock drafts.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our complete mock draft here live on Regular Guys Podcast. Now, look, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. No, I did not give you the real deal what I am going to do. Why didn't I not do that?
You got it, man.
I am playing with Jake in 2 weeks. I'm not going to give him my hand.
Come on, this is the pod, though, man.
PJ, our editor, is also going to be seeing this. I'm about to give this guy what I'm about to do. Although we do, a couple mock drafts on our all three of us together, just kind of prepare. And also, too, there's also going to be some other guys. But there's so many different scenarios you could go. You could go for the hero running back method, where you draft a guy like, I don't know, Dalvin Cook, Henry.
Like what Axel did. He went 3 straight running backs.
Yeah, you can go. Well, I mean, like hero running back is where you have one solid good guy that's going to give you 20 to 25 to 30. And then you say, okay, I want to fill it with the rest of the skill guys. And that's cool. Or you can go Axel's route. Eckler, Kamara, Barkley. Why? Because the receivers this year there's so many of them. There's literally no shortage of depth. I mean, obviously, yeah, you're looking at upside, but look at this. A guy like Juju went in the 7th here. Casey's needs number 1 guy.
Yeah.
I don't see why it can't be him. Cortland Sutton.
Good with them. Yeah.
Is going to be, in my eyes, number 1 guy. Yes, Jerry Jeudy is going to be good also. I just think more of a deep ball threat, what Russ likes to do, insert Tyler Lockett, is more of Cortland's game. Michael Pittman, Hollywood Brown, there's Cooper. You could even gamble and take Hopkins late.
You got
like
Pittman.
Sean did.
You got Pittman. And
I got
according to Jake, he's the next Julio Jones this season.
Facts.
So I mean, if he's right on that one, you're gonna blow everybody out.
Yeah, so it's my advice. My last little bit of advice is know what you want to do going into the draft.
Yeah,
know where you pick if you don't already know, and literally just have fun. There's so many things you can do with fantasy, points wise, keeper wise. There's dynasty leagues. There's just so many other things that you can do. We get it. Hey, if you don't like doing fantasy because you're kind of like Sean and you just can't root for another team's player, I get it. When
that's the most
Tyler
proud
Murray,
thing I've done. No Giants, no Skins, and no Philly players on my team, so I'm good, man. I'm happy.
Yeah, when Justin Herbert plays the Colts next year, or I'll say Brandon Cooks. When Brandon Cooks plays the Colts week 1 in 2 weeks. Hey, Brandon Cooks, you're on my team? Man, you could go off for 200 yards and 5 touchdowns.
No,
just don't win
the game.
Yeah, just don't win. Just don't win.
I do not care about your stats. Just don't win the game.
I hate that.
You could be the best thing since sliced bread. Just don't win the game.
Or you can get all the receptions, all the yards. Just don't score. I'll take that too.
You can go for 400 yards, 14 receptions, just don't score.
Don't score. Yeah.
But I will say this as my last little bit before these guys take over. If you know for a fact that you are like that, you can't root against, you are going to catch yourself drafting from your favorite team.
Yes.
And that is going to screw you come bye week time.
Yes.
When your whole team is on the bye week on week 6 and you're trying, and then you got to drop somebody because you got 8 roster spots to fill for starters. Just don't be that guy. Okay. If anything, choose from within the division or players that you really like. But other than that, this is pretty good. Any little bit left on the mock draft takes before we get into some guys that we like? Jake?
So just a few things like notes, like what Matt's saying, know your league. When you're going into your fantasy football league, if you have questions, if you've been struggling, one thing is, know your scoring. How does your scoring format go? Is it multiple quarterbacks? Is it just you want to know what the scoring is? That way you can go ahead and plan on that draft. If it's a 1 quarterback league, don't reach so early for a quarterback. Let quarterbacks fall to you. And then always pay attention to bye weeks. When you're drafting your starters, make sure you look at bye weeks. You don't want to have your 2 starting running backs and 1 of your 2 wide receivers all with the same bye weeks. When that bye week comes, you can basically give yourself an L. So you just always pay attention to your bye weeks. Try not to draft too many players with that same bye week, at least not your starters. And then always try to have your depth pieces or your backups replacing that bye week.
Yeah, for sure. Anything to add, Sean?
I don't have anything to add. You guys are the experts. I just do it for the fun of it. But have fun doing it. Enjoy football. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we're about also too. Like in our league that we're going to be drafting on Sunday. Again, you can have so much fun with this. We literally have a trophy. Okay, we literally have a trophy. Pitch in for it. It doesn't have to be super expensive. Ours wasn't super expensive. I think we all pitched in like $6-7 for it. So, but it's pretty legit. You literally have fun with it, get a good group, talk smack, create rivalries, talk a whole bunch of smack leading up to it. Why? Because it's fun. There's nothing you can do personally to control what Kyler Murray does on Sunday. Literally nothing you can do, but it's just fun of playing a game, something like that with your friends and, just doing the best that we can, that you can. You're going to draft somebody that everybody laughs about. You're going to draft somebody that, somebody wanted and, you'll hear about it. So other than that, I think we kind of covered some sleepers and whatnot in our draft. So definitely hope you guys enjoyed doing this. It was fun. We'll try to include a little section going forward just on some starts and sits, maybe our favorite matchups for the week going forward each and every week. We'll also we'll let you guys see our final results, me and Jake, from our draft on Sunday. And you will get to vote. Now, our draft is a little different. We have a keeper league where we get to keep 2 people each and every year. Now, when you do that, you forfeit the first 2 rounds. If you keep 1, you forfeit the first round. If you keep none, you get to pick in the first round. Now, in my opinion, I feel like I can say this. It doesn't matter if the guys are listening. Me and Jake have the best 2 keepers. Like, our 2 keepers are literally the best guys. Jake's keeping Austin Eckler and CMC. I get it, CMC. We got to see if he stays healthy, but if he is healthy, yes.
Solid though.
It's watch out. I am keeping Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift. It's, again, in my opinion, they are the best 4 guys, especially pairing them together to keep in our league. Yeah, we'll see how the rest of the draft ends up. Shall be fun. I don't know what Jake was on last week talking about something he was going to win it all, but that definitely happened.
Based on that, because Matt was saying that we have a trophy, so I'll make sure that I show you guys the trophy with my name on it come the end of the football season, just so you guys can see it. I'm going to try to figure out a setup so you guys can see it all the time during the show. Yeah, I just want to make sure you
this.
guys are part of it
Yes,
because
guy.
I just want you to embrace
I'm all
it too.
for it. I'm all for
We
it.
might-
guy.
We might make the show like a parade. Like when I win,
We're
just like
definitely
close the
not.
street down and just have a parade. Let's
Let's just do
figure
a
it
boat
out.
parade. A boat
Let's
parade.
do it.
Come on,
We'll
now.
just
Boat
toss
parade.
it. Just toss it around. See who can.
Now, what he forgot to tell you is there's also a toilet bowl trophy. That's the trophy he was talking about. That's the trophy you get for last place. That's the one that Jake's gonna have his name for.
I've never missed the playoffs. If something happens to my team, I will trade my way into the playoffs. People know that in the league. I do not take L's.
I got a big league I'm joining. It's going to be my wife and my 2 dogs. So I definitely have a chance. I definitely have a chance this year. So let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us. We're going to move into the hype section. Jake, tell the people what you're hyped for, man.
Man, so when this episode comes out, it's going to be Wednesday. So today's Wednesday for you guys. I have 2 drafts going on this weekend, both with Matt, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And then I got Monday off, so I'm happy about that. And then that next week, after that Labor Day week, I'm gonna be hitting up Orlando. We're gonna have like a nice family trip. There's some family members that I haven't seen in a while. They're coming down. We're all meeting in Orlando, so I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, and then also with the podcast, you guys, we got a lot of feedback. I got a light. Because people said I was looking a little, not great. So I got a light going. I fixed my internet because I was out here looking like some type of robot. So I fixed that for you guys. So give us the feedback. We love it. We try to fix what we can fix. And then with the fantasy stuff or any other kind of sports questions, you guys can always comment. You can send us DMs. You can leave comments on the YouTube channel, and we'll try to get back to you if you guys have questions about any fantasy football advice. Granted, we're not best. That's why the podcast called Regular Guys, but we'll let you know what we think in your situation.
Yeah, for sure. Sean, tell people what you're hyped for, man.
Yeah, I'm just got a new job, so I'm hyped. I'm still in training right now, so it's a lot of learning. So I'm learning a lot, so I'm hyped about that. And then this Sunday coming up, Johnny, my brother-in-law, is having a public talk at his congregation, so I'm definitely excited for that. And then football the following week. So that's it for me. I'm set.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. Something that I'm hyped for, again, fantasy football drafts this week. One Friday, one Sunday, in-person draft shall be fun. Good laughs. We're going to clown people's picks. We're going to tell them bad picks even when it's a good pick, man. We try to have fun. College football is underway. College week 0 was this past week, if you didn't already know. As a Gators fan, the number 7 Utah will be coming to the Swamp. So it's a big game, sold out game in the Swamp. We're looking to turn them in some Gator bait and shock the world, so to speak. So you guys let us know down in the comments also too what you're hyped for. And we can't wait to hear for some closing words. Again, man, we just want to thank you guys for listening, continue to grow with us. The road to 50 subscribers is well on the way. Make sure you like and subscribe. We want to give a big shout out to, again, Derek for the fantastic beat that he made us. From the change from when we first started doing this, it's changed. We thought the beat that we used then was great. Derek said, hold my water. I got better ones for you. And it's just some great stuff that he's doing. Also give a major shout out to PJ, our editor, who you guys know is still part of Regular Guys Podcast, has big things going on for us in the editing department. And also too for Wes, just be on the lookout for him in the reels. We got some cooking up. But also too, we just want to give a big thanks to you guys, the regulars, for your love, support. Again, like Jake mentioned, if you feel, hey, Sean, Matt, Jake, you need to do this, or maybe when I was listening, something didn't sound right, hey, let us know. We're regular guys for a reason, because we're like you. Sean, hit us with your closing words, man.
And I just want to thank everybody. Like and subscribe. We love you guys. Just like us and go Gators, baby. Let's go.
Jake, closing words and outro, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for everything. We love the feedback. Love that you guys are watching. We're glad to be back. Follow us everywhere on all platforms, especially Twitter. We're trying to get really big on the Twitter because you're going to get a lot of the news. Anything that breaks, You're going to get it on Instagram. You're also going to get it on Twitter. Twitter is just going to give you the straight facts, breaking news, what it is, boom, straight to the point. So that's a nice, quick way to get information from us also. So we're trying to be more active on that as well. So follow us on Twitter. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We're ecstatic about this, man. So we're going to keep it going and just let us know what you guys think, what we can fix. And I can't wait to show you my trophy at the end of the fantasy football season.
To Regular Guys Podcast.